guys, just tuning in from our weekly update. So I've finished all of the video footage that I'd set aside to watch since October, so about 80 hours roughly worth of learning. So it feels really good to get that out of the way, and obviously there's always stuff that I'm going to need to learn, so I will be looking at what I can look at next. But for the time being, it feels really good to kind of have some time put aside where I can go back over everything I've learned and also just start watching the markets a bit closer and seeing how things move and working my way up to be able to take a paper trade. So today I thought I would go over a potential trade opportunity that came up on my scan a few weeks ago. It also came up on sort of my groups, most people in my groups, their scan, because obviously we're all looking at doing the same thing. That's the Roland Wolf community. So he did touch on it on his webinar previously as well. So I thought it might be good to go over that, and I think it ticks a lot of boxes in terms of the type of, or at least one of the types of trades that I might be looking to take in the future. So I thought it might be good to kind of walk through it and break it down. Okay, so the stock that came up on the scan was the ticker's HOTH. I'll go through my scan in more detail probably on another video. I'm still playing around with it actually, but basically I'm scanning for the biggest percent gainers, low float stocks, so stocks with less than 10 million float. So it just means that they've got less shares available to trade. So when somebody does buy or sell them, it makes a big difference to the price. So there's can be a lot of volatility, which is what I'm looking for. I'm also looking for stocks that have traded high volume and that are under $10 for the time being. That's just where I'm working at. So this stock came up on my scan. This is the daily chart, which is where I try to look at first. And it's this day here, which is the 7th of January. So I'm playing, well, I didn't play it, but if I was to play it on this day, it would have been in the day one of the move. And I spoke to my brother about this because he does day trading. He's quite good at it as well. And he was saying this is a much riskier day to play and much harder to learn as a beginner. And he prefers a first green day bounce for his trading. So once the stock's gone up and up, massive pullback, and then you get bounced. That's kind of where he likes to play it, and he thinks it's an easier way to learn because you've got more time to prepare. So on this day, all you've got is the pre-market hours. So I can't remember how long it is. About, I don't know. I'm actually not sure how long it is before market open, but I'd be looking at this about an hour or an hour and a half before the market opens. So it doesn't give me much time really to assess what's going on, research the stock, make sure there's not high risk or something like that, see what the markets are doing. It's quite a quick analysis that I'd need to do. But I do want to learn it as well, and it is at the moment some of the things that Roland Wolf's talking about on his daily webinars. So good to know. And also the risk here is that they can spike and they can just dump straight away. So less predictable maybe. So I'll just go through this then. So it was up a big percentage. That's why it came up on my scan. It was a low float. There was high volume coming in. I think the reason is on this day, they had some kind of news. I think it was a breakthrough in some sort of cancer treatment. So that's the reason why it was spiking. So I'd go and look at the daily chart first and just see, has it got a history of spiking on high volume, which it has. Here's the volume, and you can see here it's gone from, I don't know, about 70 cents up to 150-ish. It's a pretty big move. Also, you can just see visually that, there is a history of spiking on high volume. I think that's what I'm looking for anyway. So tick that box. Then I'll go to the 1 minute chart to see what it was doing on the day. So this is the day here, 7th of Jan. This is the pre-market hours, so before the market is opened. And you can see that it has gone, well, it closed the previous day around 82 cents. In the morning, it's shooting up to roughly $2.10. So big spike there. So I wouldn't be trading in this area as a beginner, I don't think, because that's just what I've been taught, kind of wait till the market's open, see how things play out a little bit first, because this can be a bit misleading. But it can also be very useful as well. So here, I could see it was spiking, it was coming back down, and it kind of formed this support here, bounced off there, and it didn't retest it really. It held above this support for the whole of the pre-market. So that is where I would put my risk initially there, which is 143, which is very close to $1.50, and whole dollar marks and half dollar marks are really important, as they often form areas of support and resistance. So 143, pretty close to 150. You know, that's quite a good tick box there. But also, I would go back to the daily chart. This day here, high volume, a recent high volume day, and can see on this day that it gapped up big, gapped up on volume, and it topped out at pretty much exactly 150. So that is a really good sign for, that is a key level here. It's topped out at 150, and here it's holding support at just under 150. So that just kind of adds to the conviction in this risk level. Yeah, so as for the profit target, so if I was going to take this trade, this would be my risk. Profit, I always, at the moment, I don't know if this is right or not, but I like to put a line here wherever it's topped out pre-market as an initial profit taking position. So I've done that there, $2.09. And then also, I've gone back to the daily chart and just seeing where it's kind of topped out above where it is now on a high volume day. And I think, again, I'm not sure how correct this is, but on this day here, high volume, it topped out at about $4.30. So ideally, I'd probably go back into that day and see where the most volume was in that day to find a better level of resistance. But I've kind of just put it, as it topped out at 4.30, I've kind of brought it down to the $4 mark or just around there, just because it's a whole number. Again, I'm not quite sure if there's a better way to assess the resistance level here of where it could go to, but that's what I did. So yeah, so I've got my risk, I've got a couple of profit, that's my first profit taking mark, and the rest was up at close to $4. So this is all pre-market, watching it. I'm trying to imagine if this was an actual trade. Oh yeah, the other thing is that, so this moved from about 80 cents to $2.09, and it's then pulling back when the market opens to like 160. So it is a big move, but it's not like it's gone without me. Like, it's not like it's gone from 1 to 4 already. So I think there's still time to get in on these type of gappers. So yeah, market opens. I'm sure some traders would get in there pre-market, but for me, I would be waiting till the market opens, and I've kind of been taught to give it sort of the first, don't trade within the first minute, like give it 5, 10, 15 minutes to see how it plays out. And what you can see happens when it opens is it drops to that support level pretty much exactly, and it pushes off it, and it pushes off it on both minutes. So here could be a potential opportunity to get in there and then risk off here. So if it breaks this line, automatically I'm out of the trade. So that could have been one entry point. If I missed that, I could have even waited until here and got in somewhere around here even. And I can also see that the volume's really good on market open as well, so that's another good sign. So yeah, I can see how you could get in there and safely have this as your risk. In terms of actually exiting the trade, as I said, I probably would have sold some here, where I've put my first profit-taking line. And then I've been taught that you sell into strength, so I don't know, I'm probably not going to be a very patient trader, but I probably would have taken some off here. Looking back at the chart's quite easy to see, but and then maybe like here, yeah, I'm not really sure exactly on why, how I would actually play that out. But also it's kind of interesting to see that the mark that I did put here, around the $4, it didn't get there, but it did get to 379, 380, so pretty close. So probably is an okay gauge of where the stock could go to. And then, yeah, you can kind of see it just sort of fizzled out a little bit towards the end of the day. Where did it close? Somewhere around 220 roughly. So yeah, I'm kind of enjoying that I've understood the basics of that. Again, yeah, I don't know if it's like the perfect trade or what, but I think it's like the general idea of day one moves and how you could play them, and just a good idea of how you can set risk and how you can kind of identify it on the 1 minute chart, but cross-reference it with the daily chart as well. So yeah, again, doing this in real time, God knows what I would actually do, but yeah, I thought it was quite interesting to look at anyway. Yeah.
I'm sure there's reasons why professional traders wouldn't take this trade. I'm not sure if it's like a prime setup or whatever. And I'm sure there's red flags that I'm not taking into consideration. But I think for now, it ticks a lot of boxes and kind of gives me the foundation to work off. And there's also other factors that I'm not taking into account, sort of dilution. So is the company going to dilute, which can be a major red flag. So there's things like that which I'll need to look at as I go along as well. So I'm pleased that I've been able to kind of understand the basics of this setup, but I'm still definitely feeling frazzled, overwhelmed, how am I actually going to be able to do this in real-time live trading? But for the moment, it's just about learning, and I think feeling overwhelmed is just going to be how it is this year. But I do enjoy kind of breaking this down on these videos because it is really helping me to understand things and raise questions in my head that I can then go back and look at as well. Thanks for watching.